This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
All right, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I had forgot that Jesse Ventura called Gary Capetta Gary Kapinski.
By the way, how much voiceover work do you think Jesse Ventura would be doing if he wasn't a crackpot?
He was one of the great voices still.
Absolutely, without question.
He could do cartoons. He could do, he could be a voice talent. And I'm telling you, voice talents make tons of money. Tons of money. It's cash cow. Oh, the Wrecking Crew. Okay, I got it. The Wrecking Crew. One of the members of the Wrecking Crew was the one who helped out Shanghai Pierce and Tex Slazenger there. I remember the Wrecking Crew, kinda.
I remember the Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was kind of an Ole Anderson invention here, the Wrecking Crew.
This is the Marietta Wrecking Crew.
Smyrna. Mableton.
Smyrna Wrecking Crew.
Smyrna Wrecking Crew. Well, we've had some, I just go back to that Cactus Jack interview. This was after, and I don't want to take away from Ricky Steamboat here, but this was after our Cactus Jack amnesia.
No, it's leading to that.
Leading to that? Okay.
Yeah, so let me explain.
All right, thank you.
That we're going to powerbomb him on the floor, and it's supposed to be a way to sort of write him off TV, and he can come back and challenge Vader. And it ultimately pays off at Halloween Havoc in a spin the wheel, make the deal type of
Remember that situation. One well, because he bled all over us.
But after this, he hits his head. And so that's when he has amnesia. And Meltzer absolutely loved it. He says, WCW ran on TV on April 24th, what appeared to be its best angle in years involving Big Van Vader and Cactus Jack, but it largely wasn't an angle at all. It was easily the best television show in at least terms of production since the new regime took over. The return match from the brutal encounter that aired on 4/17 was the highlight. Now, before we keep going here, Tony, I do want to ask, because we are at Center Stage. It's not like you guys in this era are doing the show live. This is sort of pre-internet. And you've often called Center Stage here a shithole. We'll talk about that a little later, but you guys were taping multiple episodes in one sitting. It's not like you do one Saturday night and thanks for coming, folks. So they probably saw the match that we opened up with a recap with on this episode just a few minutes before. He goes back, bandages himself up, talks about going to the hospital last week and his family saying, don't get back in there with Vader. And then he's back out there for this angle, correct?
Yeah, right. I think, if I remember correctly, that we did 2 weeks worth.
Okay. So there might be a chance, but
there could be a chance 2 different days.
It doesn't really matter. Either way, Meltzer was right. It was another very good match, in many ways better than the first, even though Jack was working when logic said he shouldn't. The match wasn't anywhere near the over-the-limit brutality of the first meeting, where Jack suffered numerous facial injuries and a concussion from Vader's punches. Jack, for reasons he himself probably only truly understands, wanted it that way to create a memorable match, and in that way he did succeed, although one questions if the injuries are worth it. The rematch was even more memorable for reasons that make one ask the same questions. After missing a somersault body block on the ring apron, Harley Race pulled off the mats covering the floor, and Vader powerbombed Jack. The drama of this was increased to the nth degree when Vader lifted Jack up for the move, and Tony Schiavone said, if he powerbombs him on the floor, he may kill him. That was supposed to be an angle where Jack would be injured, enabling him to take 4 months off to recuperate from the injuries he'd already suffered and had been working nightly on. As it turned out, even with Vader attempting to protect him on the move, Jack's head apparently hit the floor hard on the powerbomb, and a sickening thud was heard on the landing. Although Jack has taken numerous more spectacular and theoretically more dangerous bumps on the floor with sickening thuds before, Jack was knocked out and lost feeling in various extremities, which resulted in him becoming immobilized and being rushed to the hospital in an ambulance, all of which aired on television. On television, it almost appeared to be a legitimate career-ending or even life-threatening situation. In the building, there was legitimate fear that he had broken his neck. At press time, the nature of Jack's injuries weren't completely known, other than he suffered a severe concussion, which was made even more dangerous by the closeness and time to his previous concussion just 16 days earlier. There were no broken bones. The numbness in his hands hadn't gone away, which could be an indication of nerve damage, which would be the most serious of the injuries, and it could keep him out of the ring for an extended period of time. There's no real way to know of saying when he'll return. but nobody expects, even in the best case scenario, that he would return for at least a month. But barring unforeseen developments based on further examinations by a neurologist, it doesn't appear to be a career-ending situation.
Good God.
So this trip to the hospital is not funny. Ha ha. This is real.
Right. Yeah, it's real. And we always shook our head at him. And it was kind of like, Mick, what are you doing? I've told this story many times. I go back to when we were in Philadelphia, the old Civic Center one time, and we were there earlier, and we were sitting out there. He said, I want to take a bump off of the balcony here, right onto the floor, just straight on the floor. He said, I think when my back hits the concrete, it will make a great sound. And I said, oh yeah, it will. I said, but you're out of your mind. But he did things like that. He pushed the envelope to the tune of, what does it matter that it does to my body? And I've watched on Patreon, I think it was a bonus episode on Patreon, the cage match and the crazy things he did in that.
Yeah.
Against Undertaker. It's just, I don't know. It's just, but it helped build his,
the legend of Cactus
the legend.
Jack.
Absolutely did. Yeah.
We should mention this is taped on April 21st. So 3 days before it airs. Process what we're talking about there. I know this sounds silly, but this airs on a Saturday night, of course.
Right.
So that's the 24th, Friday's the 23rd, Thursday's the 22nd. A Wednesday night, and you're witnessing what could have been a murder. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Murder's reserved for the weekends as a rule of thumb.
Especially in Atlanta.
Oh man. You know what's great? You ever see the Cat Williams stand-up special? His first real one to pop big back in 06.
Now, I've never seen a Cat Williams stand-up. Maybe I should.
Oh, go watch it. There's one from 06. It's on Netflix. I think it's called like the Pimp Chronicles or something like that. But he talks about the magic of Atlanta. He said, all of your hopes and dreams can come true in this city, or you can get murdered at a stoplight. Either way. And it all happens in Atlanta. And I just thought that was a perfect way to describe the ATL.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I don't have time for Atlanta at all. And everybody says, you live in Atlanta? I go, nope, Marietta. And their Steamboat rolls up a member of the wrecking crew to get the win.
And by the way, I know it's 2-on-1, but to me, you're a former NWA champion. Hit your fucking finish on that goof.
Yes, absolutely do it.
I mean, if you can't get a clean win over one of these fucking guys, I'm not going to buy that you can go out there and compete with Vader.
Here's a look one more time, and it took a double team. And then the elbow shot that he missed, and Steamboat just rolls him up. That just shows you, Conrad, what a ring technician Ricky Steamboat really is, that he can beat him this way.
You reckon the Cole twins have like a roofing company? Maybe they build decks around Atlanta. What do you think they're doing these days?
They could. Cole Roofing. We're your deck men.
We love big decks and we cannot lie. You've been telling me that you've got a bigger deck than ever over at the house, right?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.